this video I'm going to teach you how does the kruskal and the prim algorithm works. As you know, in the artificial intelligence domain we have many problems which are based on graph and tree structure and mainly used as path finding and graph traversing, and finally it generalized to so many other problems. When we are looking for minimum spanning tree, we have two solutions for that: the kruskal algorithm and the prim algorithm. In the first step, I want to explain the kruskal algorithm and see that how does the kruskal algorithm works this sample graph. For minimum spanning tree, we are going to find the shortest path which traverses all the graph and does not make any cycle. Also, any redundant edge and node is not acceptable. The kruskal algorithm has greedy method for finding the least total weight path within the graph, and it guarantees optimal solution. The time complexity is from the order of e in logarithm e, which means if our graph is sparse, it would be a faster solution rather than the prim. So let's see how does the kruskal algorithm solve this our sample graph here. Okay. In the first step, in the kruskal algorithm, we just let me check my pen. Okay. We just order the graph edges as the ascending list. For example, if we look at our graph, we have the least weight has a value of 1 here. So I write it like here. We have, let me start from more left side. Okay. For example, we have the H. We have a H and G edge with value of 1. Also, then the smallest one is 2. So we have the G and F with value 2. After that, we have C and I with value 2. Also, the next one would be A and B with value 4. Let me, rather than I mark it like this here, to see which one we choose. Okay, we choose H and G here, we choose F and G here, we choose C and I here, also A and B. Okay, now we have another 4 here, which is CF. We have CF with value 4 here. Oh, I also forget to mark this. Okay. After that, we have the I and G with value 6 here. I write it here. I and G with value 6. Then let me look it. So we have 7. Okay, we have I and H with value 7. We have another 7 here. C and D 7. So we have 8 here. A and H with value 8. We have B and C with value 8. And then we have the D and E with value 9. Also, we have F and E with value 10. We have B and H with value 11. And the last edge is D and F with value 14. When we make this list here, you can see we start from the smallest edge or the cheapest edge here in the first step. So I just draw the H and G here. So I have H, I draw the H and G here. Okay, in the first step. Let me see, can I select this? Okay, no problem. So in the first step, I select H and G here. So in the next step, I just want to show which one I choose. I choose this edge here. and then we choose the H and G here. Okay, the next one is 2. Has a value 2. We can choose between G and F or C and I. So I choose this as my ordered list, G and F with value 2. So I choose the G and F with value 2 here. So I choose this in the second step. Okay. Now let's see what do we have. I choose this. I choose it here. Okay, we have C and I here, as you see in the third step. Okay, in the third step, I have choose H, G here, then F here. So I choose the C and I here. Okay, I choose this one, and in the third step, I choose this value. Okay, another one was a 4. Let me look at from here. So I choose this A and B for the next step. So when I have H and G, then F here, I have these values here, and this is here. I choose the A and B. Okay, let me draw the C and I edge, and then I have the A and B here. Our graph would be something like this in the fourth step, and I draw this here. Okay, we go to the fifth step. Let me choose a pen. Okay, we open the A and B here. We also have H and G, H with G, also with F, and C and I. We have here C with I. Okay. The next small note is nothing except C and F here, you can see. So I choose this H, C and F. Okay, I choose the C and F. So I choose in the fifth step, I choose this edge here, and let me see what would happen in the sixth level. So I just check A and then B, then here we have H with G, then we F, I had here C with I, and I had here C with F, which means if I want to draw it on the graph, it would be we choose these values here. Okay. Now that we're here, I just look which one is the smallest one for the next. It is 6. Let me check it from our list. We have CF as the last one. We choose this one, this one, this one. So we have the I and G. Okay, let's see what would we have the I and G. If I choose the I and G here, it would make a cycle here. So I can't choose this edge for the next one. So I just mark it here. I couldn't choose this. Another one is H, I and H. Okay, let's see, can we choose the I and H here? Okay, I and H. Okay, let's see. I and H. Okay, you can choose, if we choose the I and H here, as you can see, it would make another cycle here. So I couldn't choose this edge too. So I go for the next one. So here I just sign it that I couldn't choose this. Let's see, can we choose the C and D? Okay. In this 6th level, let me see, can we choose it? C and D. Okay, if we choose this, nothing wouldn't happen. It means we have not cycled here, so it is safe for us to choose. So I choose. sorry, I chose it with red color. Let me first, I write it here. I choose C and D and the color, and choose it or sign it, draw it with the red color here in the 6th level. Okay, so we have our graph would be something like this in the 6th level. So let's for the next level here in the 7th level. Let's see how it would be. We have A, B, we have C with I here. Also we have H with G here with F. We have this one, this one, this one, this one, and then we have this one, this H here. We couldn't choose this one, but we choose the C and D here. Okay. The next one would be between these 8 numbers. So I choose, if I choose A and H, no cycle would be constructed. So I choose the A and H for the next one. I choose this. So our graph would be like this in the 7th step. So I go to the next level. We have A here, we have B here, we have H here, we have G, we have F, we have C to I here, we have here to F, we have here to D. As you see, our graphic has been something like this. Okay, it is like this. So, okay, let's see what we have after A and H. Choosing the A and H, we choose this C and D here. We choose the A and H. So let's see, can we choose the B and C? Let's check it. If I choose the B and C, a cycle would be constructed. So I cannot choose this one. So I just delete this or prune it. Let me sign it with the red one. And the next one would be D and 9. So I come here to check for the D and E, sorry. I come here to check D and E. Okay, if I choose it, no cycle would construct it, so it is safe for us to choose D and E. So as you can see, if I choose this, I almost have all the vertex chosen with the graph. Here you see we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And no cycle happened or constructed within the graph. So the kruskal algorithm or solution for solving this example graph was like this. So let's compare it with the prim algorithm. In the prim algorithm, the prim algorithm also has the greedy method for finding the least total weight path within the graph. It guarantees optimal solution. It works on the vertex of the graph instead of the edges. As you remember, in the kruskal we were working or listed the edges. We make a ascending list on the edges, weight of the edges, but here we don't need to do this. So the time complexity is from the order of E in logarithm V, which means if our graph is dense, it would be a faster solution rather than the kruskal. So if our graph is dense, for finding a minimum spanning tree, it's better that we use the prim algorithm, and if it's sparse, it's better to be that we choose the kruskal. So let's see how does prim solve this algorithm, solve this graph for us. Okay. As a starting point, I want to just start from the A, from the left side here. So in the first step, I just open the A and I just check the neighbors of the A. We have the B or H with value 4 or 8. So which one is smaller? The B with value 4. So in the first step, I use A and then B, which means I choose this one in the first step. So in the next step, let's see. In the next step, as it is a greedy method, when we open B, we open the A and B. We look at the neighbors of the open B vertex here, and as you can see, we have the C with value 8, we have H with value 11 from B to H, and from A to H we have the value 8. So let me continue this path. I can choose between this one and this one. So I choose the C with value 8 here. Okay, it's optional. So I choose this one, this path here. In the second step. In the third step, let's see what should we choose. Okay, I open A, B, then C. Okay, I open this. So let's check the adjacent or neighbors of these open vertexes. We have 7 here, 4 here, 2 here. So I should choose between these numbers. Which one is the smallest one? Of course, C and I. So I choose the C and I here as our next selection. Okay, in the third step, you see we choose the C and I edge here. Let's see in the fourth step what would happen. We open A, B, C, then I. Okay, I open this one, and this one. Now let's check the adjacent. We have 11 here, we have 8 here. When we open the I, we have 7, 6, 4, 7 here. So which one is the smallest one? The C and F value is the smallest one. So I draw this edge here, and let me sign it with red on the graph in the fourth step. Okay, in the next level, let's see what would happen. We have A here, we choose B, then we choose C, then we choose I, then we choose F here. Okay, we choose this one, this one, this one, and this one. Let's check the adjacent values. We have 8 here, we have 11. For the I, we have 7 and 6. For the F, we have 14 and 10 and 2. Between all of these, the 2 is the smallest one, so I choose this edge. We choose G with value 2 here, and if I sign it on the graph, it would be like this. So, in the 6th level, let's see what is the next choice. We have A here, we have B, C, I, we have F here, then we have G here, and let me draw it on the graph. So let's see which one is the smallest one on the graph. We have 8 here, 11. If I choose the 6 here, it would make a cycle, so I cannot choose this. And for the G, I have 1 here. From the I, we have 7 here. We have 7, 14, and 10. So the one with the edge between G and H with value 1 is the next choice. So I choose this like it. Okay, and let me sign it on the graph in the 6th level. Okay, now we are in the 7th level or 7th step of our prim solution. I choose B here, then C, then I choose I choose F here, then I choose G, then H here. Okay, which means I choose this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, let's see what choices we have. If I choose this 8 here, it would make a cycle, so I could not choose this. If I also choose this edge here, it again would make a cycle, so I cannot choose this one. If I choose this one here, it again would make a cycle, so I cannot choose this one. And if I choose the edge between I and G, it also make a cycle, so I cannot choose this one. So our remaining choices are between 14, 10 and 7 here. And 7 is the smallest one, so I choose the edge between C and D with value of 7. So I choose this one as the next. Okay, let's see in the 8th level or 8th step what would happen. We have opened A, B, C, I, and then F here. I open G, then H here, and then we open D here. Okay, let me sign it on the graph. I open this, I cannot choose any of this. I select this, and this one, and this one. Okay, let's see what would be the next one. If I choose the 14, it would make a cycle, so I cannot choose this. So I should have to choose between 9 and 10. As the 9 is the smaller one, I choose this edge as our final choice here. And if you see, our final graph would be like this. And as you see, we have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. We just traverse all the edges and we do not make any redundant or cycle here. So we finished this graph using the prim algorithm. Thanks for your attention.